Hello there. It's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Johnny Test, Fred Flintstone, and one of my personal favorites, Leonardo. And you are listening to Epic Tales from the Sewer. It's totally awesome. Turtle power. Go, go, go.
Welcome to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. Grab yourself a slice, strap into the party wagon, and hang on tight. Give it up for your hosts, the Cowabunga Combo, Justin and Eric.
And welcome back to Epic Tales from the Sewers, a very special episode. With me, as always, is my co-host with the most, Mr. Eric Will.
How we doing today there, Justin?
We're good. We're good. You know, maybe a little bit too much pizza. You're a little slow on the uptake, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. We've got some guests with us today. First, we'll start with our returning co-host / guest. Joining us today, the Channel 6 chick herself, Miss Liddy's back.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
And joining us, we have repeat guests here. We've got Mr. Joey from Ninja Toidles.
What up, what up, what up?
I'd build you up, but I mean, you know, it's like you're already kind of the greatest. So, you know.
I'll get out of here, dude. I appreciate it, brother.
And I was just thinking, I'm like, for our next guest, is this technically your first time on the show? Because I've been on your show, and Eric's been on your show. Is this your first guest?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, how about that? Mr. Shellonomics himself, King Makitas, Mike from Shellonomics.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that you could be here, everybody. Really excited. We're here to talk about the 35th anniversary of the Ninja Turtles movie. That is big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I'll give everybody just kind of a synopsis on this. For all the youngsters that listen to this podcast, we want to tell you a little bit about this movie. If you haven't seen it, go talk to your parents, about it. But Ninja Turtles is a 1990 superhero film based on the comic book characters created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. It's the first film adaptation of the characters and was directed by Steve Barron and written by Todd Langen and Bobby Herbeck, with the story by Bobby Herbeck. It stars Judith Hogue as April O'Neil, Elias Koteas, hopefully I said that correctly, as Casey Jones, with the voice of Brian Tochi, Josh Pius, Corey Feldman, and Robbie Rist. So it's 35 years old and just recently released to the theaters again. But before we go into all that, what would be the number one thing that everybody remembers from the VHS?
The Pizza Hut commercial. For me,
it's are we go with the commercial?
It's the Pizza Hut.
To.
Yes,
yes. Yep.
It's got Goldberg in it, dude.
That shows you right there. We're all family, all five of us. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter. Some runners are on.
Oh my God!
Suddenly, everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering.
We gotta find that kid, dude.
They point to the sky, and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. I play right field. It's important to know. You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I play in right field, way out where the dandelions grow.
As a proud sponsor
That was
of
just
League
a little
Baseball,
fella.
Pizza Hut welcomes all the kids who make it
The
great.
hero of the game.
I wonder how old that kid is now. Like, do they have a after picture to go with the movie?
Oh, I don't know.
35?
That to me is one of the iconic defining things about Ninja Turtles fans. And I have started like rounds of singing this song among turtle people, and everybody knows the words. And most people are not like, oh, I didn't know that was a Peter, Paul, and Mary song. I'm like, yeah, it's just one verse of the song. So, but yeah,
And
it's
not one Pizza
mean-
Hut box in the whole movie.
yeah. It's I think they had Domino's in it instead, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
But I
crazy.
think Pizza Hut sponsored the whole movie still, but they had Domino's sneak in there, and then I don't know what happened, but
Isn't it crazy? Because like when I saw it on the big screen, the first thing I noticed is where's the friggin' Pizza Hut commercial?
that would
that
have been
was
awesome.
That's
thing,
exactly
too.
what I was wondering too. I was like, I was really hoping for it too. Like before I got in there, I was like, are they going to play it? Are they going to play it? And I was just so disappointed. I was like, come on now.
It's okay because like it's really fun. And did everybody get a chance to see it on the big screen?
Yes.
Well, not recently when I was a kid, yes, because we don't
When
have
you
a
saw it
theater
when you were a kid?
hours away. Yeah.
I never did.
Never.
Oh, wow.
You never saw it when you were a kid?
Nope, I didn't. When I seen it, I never seen it. I never seen any of the Turtle movies in theater.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was in Maryland. I was in the boonies. There wasn't a whole lot around. So, but I had the VHSs.
Well, I want to give a special shout out to two of our friends. One's a former guest, Isaac Elliott Fisher, who shows up for the Turtle Power documentary right in the very beginning of it. And the other one is to Rob Miller, who actually sent us some tickets for Eric and his son to go. So that was pretty exciting.
From Fathom, yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate them.
Yeah.
Appreciate them too.
I mean, yeah. This movie, just so you know, the 2025 re-release of Ninja Turtles, the 1990 action film, grossed over 3.3 million domestically in its first week, and it was one of the most successful events that Fathom has done. So they're actually going to bring back Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze next year, which I'm super excited by. So
Same.
I know you all are too, but we don't have a Pizza Hut commercial for that one.
What was that? What was that? What was that at? It was some weird movie. Yes, that's right. Dude, with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
They changed the title of it, and that was the thing. So it's like it came out, but like you could never find that movie. It's like, oh, it's my family. They're all crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I've looked for it. I think it exists, but do you love your dad? Damn straight. That's great. So let me ask you this. We'll start and go around. You guys had kind of alluded to this. Eric, we'll start with you. When was the first time you saw the Ninja Turtles movie, the 1991?
Oh, it was. I want to say I was probably about 6 or 7 at that time, and I remember watching it when I was living in Maryland, and we were living with my mom's boyfriend's mom or something like that. I can't remember, but I remember
this would have been on VHS tape then.
Yeah, it was on VHS without a doubt. And of course, when I moved back to West Virginia, I watched the crap out of it. That was life for me. Ever since
Did you have the
kid,
box that had the turtles that were like puffed up and embossed on it, or did you have the flat? You did. Yep.
I had the embossed. I think I still have one. I don't know. It's all packed away. I think I actually still have all 4 of the original ones that I had whenever I was a kid. My grandma kept a hold of them.
What was the 4th? The Vanilla Ice video?
No, because you have 1, 2, and 3, and then you had the behind the scenes one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, behind the scenes too. Okay, so technically there's 5 then, right?
No, there's 4. Because if
well,
you got
I was
behind
counting out, the shells coming out of their shells.
I was talking about like the original movies, because they had the behind the scenes in between from 2 and 3, but it was actually for 2.
I've never seen that one. Huh?
What?
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's
yeah,
good.
I'll definitely check that out then.
Oh, it's good. You get to see Ken Scott.
Oh, okay, fantastic. I just saw him last month. How about you, Mike? When was the first time you saw the film?
So for me, I did get to see it in theaters. To set the stage, I've been a Turtle fan my whole life, and we were really hyped to see this movie. So my dad was going to take my brother and my cousin with us to a Saturday matinee. And it's similar to what Mark Friedman says in the documentaries, where the lines were so crowded, we couldn't even get a ticket. I mean, so for our young audience here, we couldn't buy tickets online at the time. We couldn't get our tickets in advance. If we didn't go the day of and sit there, we weren't going. So for us, we couldn't go that day. But what was cool, the reason I bring this up though, Justin, is my dad gave us a nice parting gift. It's like, sorry guys, I'm not gonna be able to get you in, but Burger King's a block away. We'll go get you those Burger King Kids Club tapes and a chocolate shake. So we got April Foolish on VHS. So it was a nice, it was a little, not too bad. I'm still getting my turtle fix today. And then eventually, my godmother took me the following weekend, and it's really hard to remember stuff, when you're 5, 6 years old. But I do remember the Splinter part with the pizza on his head, and just a lot of yelling from Raphael.
Yeah, that's kind of par for the course for Raphael in the movie, I think. So, except for that scene, he's yelling on the rooftop of the barn where it's clearly Michelangelo, though. So.
Yeah, which I didn't know until later. Yeah, but it's like he looks a little shorter up there.
His head's a different shape too. So. All right, Joey, how about you? When was your first experience seeing this?
Dude, first time was in the theater, 1990. I'm born in 83, so I think I just turned 6, dude, like a couple months prior. I remember, so this is the first movie ever as a kid I saw 3 times in theater. And the main reason I went a second time is we were late the first time, and we got there, and we missed a huge chunk already, dude. As soon as I got there, it was Shredder throwing the dagger at the TV. And then, but dude, I didn't even care. Like, I was so pissed that we were late. But as soon as I saw that, I remember being like speechless, being like, I don't even care, dude. Like, let's go. Like, I remember sitting down. I don't think I ever complained about being late, but then I convinced my dad to take me again, I think a couple weeks later, because we missed the beginning. But yeah, I
want to think of you at 6 also with that beard that you have.
Oh, dude, same.
Like,
yeah,
oh man,
totally. But yeah, it was a great experience, man. Like, first time probably I really enjoyed like being in a movie theater as a kid, I think.
Wow. All right, Liddy, what was your first time seeing this?
Oh, I was lucky. I got to see it in 1990, and I feel very old because I was 9 years old, and I vividly remember it was a cooler kid than I was. So Julia Schoneker's birthday party, we got to go. So I still remember her name. And her parents got us pizza, and we were going to be rebels. We were like, you ordered those with anchovies.
Oh!
So I remember sitting there, and I remember being so excited. Like, I wanted to clap because when it opened and everything, and April's wearing the yellow jacket. So I was like, it's not a jumpsuit, but I know who it is. Oh my gosh. This is the coolest birthday party ever. Yeah. So I remember it very, very vividly. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I like you. I think I was around 9, and it was 3rd grade. I went with 2 friends, and I don't know why. Like it felt like we went during the day or something like that, but it was a school day. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Maybe it was like a professional day or something. But I just remember coming out of that theater, and I'm like, you could not stop us from doing martial arts at that point. It was like, yeah, we're gonna like. And we did. We just kicked each other like the whole time. So it was pretty fun. And let's see. So with that, we've all got a chance to see it. At that point, we all felt like that feeling that you feel after you come out and you're buzzing and all that. Interesting thing for me seeing it this time is there wasn't a ton of people in the movie theater, but there was a family of, clearly like a middle-aged dad and his 2 young sons. And they're there. And they're not dressed up like the ones that I saw with Mutant Mayhem, but they just got up after everything was done and they're Cowabunga! Did anybody have an experience where there were some young kids there seeing it?
For me, no. Just like you guys, it was a little. I'm glad the movie still made good money, but I was shocked. Yeah, compared to when we saw us as kids, where you couldn't get a seat. Maybe like 5 or 10 of us at an early matinee on. Because what I liked about this though was the support. Remember, this was only supposed to be 2 days. They made it go all week, so I waited, and it was worth the wait because I actually got to go on Friday. So I saw it. The first showing that they had was at I believe it was 1:00 a couple Fridays ago, and nobody else was there except for me, my buddy, and I think 2 other adults. But still had a great time. And we actually ordered pizza too. I'm like, this is awesome. I get to order a pizza watching the Turtle movie. It was at an AMC. They had pizza. So I'm like, I don't care how good the pizza tastes. I just get to say I had pizza at a Turtle movie. Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I got to bring my 9-year-old daughter, which was awesome. Because again, my dad taking me when I was 6. And my daughter watched this movie. She watched the 1990 movie probably a year ago. But what's crazy is I introduced Secret of the Ooze to her when she was littler because I was like, you know what? I should probably show her that before the first one. That's just my view on it. And 20 minutes in the Ooze, she was like kind of bored with it. And I was like super shocked. But when I played the 1994, she was like hooked in. And I thought she was like doing it for me, and she wasn't like at all.
Oh, yeah.
So knowing that I got to take her to the theater and see her watch it like I did when I was 6, it was weird, but it was really cool.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Eric, how about you? Because I know you got to take your boy.
Yeah. So I mean, I ended up taking my boy. I also took my wife, and I took one of my buddies with me. And I mean, there was quite a few. There was more adults than there was, anything. There was a couple kids there that I seen that they were watching. Of course, family brought them. Like my son, I'm sitting there, and like I'm sitting there watching my son, and he's sitting there. I mean, he's quoting off the movie. I mean, he's just sitting there just saying that he's like 122 and an eighth. Where's 120? And it's just sitting there and just like, oh my gosh. And my buddy, and I'm sitting there quoting it too, and my buddy's sitting there and he's like, you act like you've seen this movie a couple hundred times. But
that's probably why there was no one in the theater with everybody else, because we were just up there going,
yeah,
all these freaks.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's nuts. And on this, let's talk about some iconic actors and all of that, because this was a movie where some of us last year specifically got a chance to meet April O'Neil. We got to hang out with Leonardo Brian Toshi and with Ken Scott, Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
What about experiences with meeting these folks? Liddy, have you had a chance to meet any of the turtle folk yet?
No, I would absolutely sell a kidney if it was worth it to anybody.
Who's your
Judith Hogue?
Who's the one you have to meet then?
Judith Hogue. I'd love
Judith
to meet
Hogue. Okay.
so much. Yeah.
I happen to be there when both Eric and Joey met her. So.
And how was that?
I don't know, Eric. How was it?
Which time? Well, the first time that
maybe the time she stroked your beard.
No. I didn't. Wait a minute. I did have a beard. I did have my goatee then. No, the first time that I met her, that we met her, and she was like, "Oh, a fellow ginger, eh?" And I'm just like, "Okay, this is how we starting this off." and then when we were down in the lobby, and like there was a lot of the actors that were down there. Kevin was down there, and all this other stuff. Me and him, we just rolled down there. I look at Judith, and Judith looks at me, and I'm like, and she just comes like this and just comes run to me and gives me a big old hug.
Guys,
So
I lost him. I lost Eric to Judith Hogue because Eric was over. So I go off to the bar, right? And Eric is hanging out with Kevin Eastman and Judith Hogue, and she's not letting him go, whatever. And just for perspective, John Rhys Davies was hanging out in the corner. Nobody looked at him. Nobody cared. Like that's perspective. This was granted after everybody left, Joey, right? So we're hanging out, and I'm just hanging out at the bar over here, and I'll have more to my story in a little bit. But yeah, I completely lost Eric to April O'Neil.
Yeah.
How many people get to say that? That's amazing.
Yeah, I want to tell you, like, meeting, talking to Judith and everything, like this community, the way she talked about it, she's just like, it's like no other, and she absolutely loves it and embraces it, and she is such a very, very sweet and nice person, and just down to earth. Really, really, really is.
I love that she seems to have that spunkiness that she brings to April as part of her, right?
Oh yeah, she is that person. She played herself.
What was your take on her, Joey?
Dude, she was a sweetheart, man. Like I've talked to her before that through Instagram. Which I was shocked that she would even like respond to like DMs and stuff. And I sent her like a Ninja Turtles care package a couple years back, and she was really appreciative of it. But yeah, getting to meet her was awesome, especially since I brought. So the only original, like the oldest Ninja Turtle thing that I have that is again from my childhood is my backpack from where is it? From 1991. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring this with, and I'm going to have as many people as possible sign the whole bag. And Judith Hogue was the first one that signed it for me. She's like, where should I sign? Like, is this? I was like, wherever you want. Like, you were the first one. And she was like, I think a lot of the artists appreciated it because, like, you see a lot of folks, I think, that go there, they get a ton of stuff signed, and then they're trying to sell it, unfortunately. Instead of, I was like, dude, this gross backpack with my backwards J for Joseph, I'm like, this was my bag, dude, from like 1991 or 1992, I think is when I got that bag. So she was all about it. And yeah, it was just, I think I was like third or fourth in line when she opened that one day. And yeah, she was awesome.
That's so cool. I remember that you were there in line because we walked by and our buddy Rob Denner was there getting his picture with her wearing the podcast logo T-shirt that I gave him, and I'm like, this is the greatest the greatest thing ever. You know, I'm like, it's just never gonna hear the end of that.
That's awesome.
How about you, Mike? Have you had a chance to meet Judith yet?
Judith, no, but I did get to meet Ken Scott, Kevin Clash, and Mikkel and Sisti at Comic-Con, and all just like the original voice actors from the cartoon. First, I don't know what it is about this entire franchise, guys, but you all, I'm sure, agree. Anybody you meet from, whether it's a voice actor, a comic artist, they're all just good, wholesome people. You know,
Yeah.
I never feel rushed when I talk to any of them when I go in line. They're just so open and warm and friendly, and it was a great experience for talking to all of them, especially asking Ken Scott some questions in his book. You guys have all read his book, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is so good just to learn more about the movie and just those certain spots and how he got called up, and even just about the fight scenes. It's an incredible read for anybody who's not. I highly encourage you to check it out.
Yeah, it's was it Teenage Ninja to Mutant Turtle?
Yep.
Yeah, fellow Chucker, eh?
I was just talking to my daughter about that. So, well, let's move on to Ken Scott because I just saw him at Terrificon recently. So, and always comes up, shakes my hand, pats me on the back. How you doing, buddy? And all that, recognized me when I walk up. He's like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, I know you. It's really fun. And we got to hang out with him just a little bit at Granite as well. And this is my part of the story. I had already lost Eric. He's gone. He's talking to, Kevin Eastman, Tom Waltz, and Judith Hogue, whatever, Mr. Bigwig over there. So I get to meet Mr. Ken Scott, and I say, hey, Ken, can I buy you a drink? And it's him, and it's Brian Toshi. Brian Toshi, the voice of Leonardo, right? So he's hanging out, and, we're talking, and I'm like, guys, have you ever had a chance to meet any of these Ninja Turtles artists? They're like, you know what? We're always on the other side of the con. We never get to. I'd love to. So I say, oh, okay, cool. Hey, how about this? Ben, come here. I pull over Ben Bishop and I go, hey, Ben, this is Brian Toshi, the voice of Leonardo. Why don't you tell him who your favorite Ninja Turtle is? Leonardo. So this goes on, and I'm like pulling in people because, like, obviously we've had people guest on the show and all that. I'm like, Aaron Bartling, get over here. I'm like, Hugh Rookwood, get over here. And they're all looking up because Hugh is like really tall. So
Oh my gosh.
And then I have Mateus Santaluco come over, right? So and Mateus is the amazing artist that did like the history of the Foot Clan. He's the Shredder guy. You look at him and he's like
insane,
and he's
insane.
intense. Yeah, you're just like, oh my God, I would not mess with that guy, right? He turned into a 5-year-old, guys. I said, Mateus, come on over. This is Ken Scott. He's the voice of he played Raphael. Tell him who your favorite turtle is, because I knew. So, and Raphael, and he's tongue tied. He can't say anything. So I'm patting him on the back, and I'm like, tell him you did martial arts. Oh yeah, I did martial. It was amazing to see these guys turn into 5-year-olds in front of them. It was just so crazy. Oh man, I don't know. Like Ken is a great one for you to bring up. I mean, he's been on the show. He's been on your show. He wrote a book. He's a bassist. He lives by the code of Bushido. He's a real interesting character.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he takes good care of himself too. He does not look his age at all.
No.
Yeah. He looks my age and then some. So I don't know. I did want to tell you guys a little story that I don't think I've told Eric this yet, but I was coming home from Terrificon, right? And this will be interesting because it's going to segue into 2 other actors from the movie. So I'm coming home on Monday. con finishes up on Sunday and all that, and I'm walking through the airport in Connecticut, and I'm like, okay, cool, bought myself a Hartford Whalers hat, Hartford the whale, so had to get that. And I go and I sit down, and I don't think much of it. I pull out a book and I start reading, and somebody comes over next to me and goes, "Excuse me, is there someone sitting here?" I'm like, "No, go ahead." It's Brian Toshi that sits down next to me, the voice of Leonardo and all that. And the only thing I can think of is he must somehow recognize. Yeah, no, that's cool. And I think that it's a near perfect film in terms of like everything. I think there's like little gripes that you have here and there. It's like, oh yeah, you can see the guy's hand when he's skateboarding. It's not in a turtle costume, and you can see Donatello when he laughs, and you can see Ernie inside, like stuff like that. Like there's some things, but I mean, you also have like the puppeteers and from Jim Henson. It's like what went into that scene where it was like a tiny gag with Donatello just spitting the water and all that. I'm like, these little touches that they have that make this movie like so incredibly real,
And the score, dude, like the music,
score.
like
yeah.
I shouldn't say I could. I do listen to that sometimes. Like if I'm working on stuff, it's like sometimes I'll put the movie in the background, but just even having the score by itself, dude, man, I will never. So dope.
I am humming it every single day. I do it. And I do it when I'm at work. That's what I do.
Even when the credits roll, you still keep 9.95 in Turtle Power roll. I don't shut my at the time I didn't shut my VHS tape off. I'd stay through that part too because I love the music just like you, Joe.
Oh, we stayed through the credits, man. We stayed through the credits. It was the first time my daughter had ever heard TURTLE Power, and she cracked up. She's like, "This is what people listened to in 1990." I'm like, "Yes." And I said, "Don't check me for accuracy, but this was the biggest song in 1990 ever." Yes.
Yeah.
And the Sony Walkman, right? Like that we listened to Sony Walkman.
Oh God.
I don't even know where he got that thing.
Yeah. I
don't even know. What do you got?
It's funny because people talk about Danny a lot, and people are like, why doesn't he do cons? And I'm like, because people would probably be super rude to him, dude.
Yep.
I that's the problem, man. I think people would be assholes to him. Excuse my language. I think they'd be really rude to him, unfortunately, dude. And like, I was like, that's why I probably wouldn't do it. He's like the number one hated character in that movie, dude. Like,
is he though? Because it's not his fault. Like
for me, it was at least.
It's him, Chief Stearns, or his dad that are the most, like, oh, you mean Charles? Well, I just saved you a walk. Yeah,
definitely. I had one thing that always bugged me, and it's so minor, but when Raph says he's going out to a movie and everybody doesn't blink an eye, they're just like, oh yeah, it's just Raph going to a movie. When did that start, and why was that okay that he just started going up to movies, and now it's just so typical? I was like, how does that happen? Do the others go to movies? Do they go to ball games? Do they go see, I don't know, hockey? It made me ask so many questions, and we just accept it. Like, okay.
That's so different. Eric just dropped out somehow, but that's so different than in like Mutant Mayhem, where it's one of those things where it's like, oh, don't go. Oh, I'm so afraid of the humans and all that. So it's like this kind of set that precedent for it.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was interesting because right before that, right, Splinter's like telling them about being ninjas and we're not supposed to be seen. And sometimes I used to think, was that his version of children should be seen and not heard? But then Raph was like, catch you later, people. I'm going to a movie. And it's just totally normal.
Right. And they said that it was their first battle. And then Raph's like, well, I'm also going to fight somebody else 2 hours later.
Yeah. It's no biggie. It doesn't ruin it. But I always just go, when did that become a thing?
Yeah. So for me, it's really hard to remove anything because I think we all love this movie from start to finish. So the more time, the better. Changing, I guess, a couple things. There's a super fan, Jeff Court, who has a whole bunch of ridiculously awesome turtle movie props. And He showed me a picture of Michelangelo. When April's drawing all the pictures, you see Leonardo at the bathtub, Donatello, and he has a Mikey one. I would have loved to get a little bit more character development with that spot because then maybe they wouldn't have changed Mikey with Raphael yelling. We could, they show Mikey with the punching bag because, again, it's really cool to see Mikey get all that emotional investment in him. Changing, I mean, maybe, we've all seen the trailer a billion times, right? I thought it would have been cool if they could have added where that sewer cap pops off, if that could have found its way in the movie, and where they're popping out. Now, again, we get that in the second movie, The Secret of the Ooze, where they're all popping up one at a time after Super Shredder, but I always was curious about that spot. But again, like we say, it's not a near perfect film, but it's just every turtle got so much love in this movie too. I've never really hear anybody argue saying, I wish Donnie got more love, I wish Raph got more love. Everybody, like we were talking about earlier, has their moment. So
I'm fine with my Leo. I'm fine with it. So.
Yes. And, well, even him, like I was even going to say, I'm an older brother. I have a younger brother. And when he's sitting in there in that bathtub and that music plays, just being the older brother, it's like you feel that guilt and shame. It hits you. It's like, I let my anger get the best of me. I should have never told him to get the hell out of here. It's just, exactly. And just that resonates. So, yeah, that's just pretty much my points. But I want to do a backup on Joey. I would have liked to see a couple more fights. And the one thing I would have added, I don't know, like Joey actually made a great point in regards to how you can have Splinter fight, but when they jumped him, I would have loved to see, like how you talk of the foot are kind of, not that smart, but can you just imagine seeing Splinter get ambushed? Like, how did they take him? Did he just give himself up? Did he, throw out a couple moves and then he realized there were just too many of them? Did Tatsu go down there and take out Splinter, which would have been awesome? And, we don't know what happened. So I guess it's cool having it in our imagination, but
that's a great
I would have
point,
loved some more detail on that.
No, I like that. That's a really good thing. Yeah.
Even like a panning back and forth between them all making jokes in the apartment, and then almost like how they do that with Raph getting his butt kicked on the roof, and they're going back to like the symbols and everything like that. If they would have done something similar while Splinter's fighting the whole Foot Clan.
Yeah.
And I love that idea because there's no way he would have just sent a bunch of teenagers to get Splinter.
Yeah.
So I love that idea that Tatsu went, and I'm like, oof. You're right.
Well, the idea is he was expecting the turtles there, so they must have sent like a whole army.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't know the turtles wouldn't be there. They didn't even know. Yeah, totally. They thought they would still, all five of them would be there.
That's such a good point. Yeah.
I like it. I think that's great. I want to tell you, so I just watched it in Stinkovision. So right before we got on, I watched it, Stinkovision Blu-ray. And
this Stinkovision is, I've never heard of this. This is my first time hearing about Stinkovision.
This is Stinkovision has a scent menu, and with the scent menu, when different icons pop up, and this is 1 through 9, it pops up at various parts of the movie, and then you scratch the card and you actually sniff it for a different experience to take you through it. So I'll give you kind of an idea. So the first one is Sweet Sewer Home. This one pops up right after the first fight when the title card comes up, says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It pops up on there.
Yeah.
And this one smells like wet dirt crust, mixed manure topping, and a hint of mildew.
Ew.
So we're talking about the Stinkovision, Eric. So that's
Yeah,
the
sorry
first
about
one. So that pops up there. So they say anytime that you see like a sewer scene or something like that, scratch this one. But the little icon only comes up once. The second one is Margarita Pizza, which comes up as they're cutting up the pizza with the Turbo Ginsu, right? So this is classic rich tomato and stretchy mozzarella with an oregano twist. It's probably one of the better ones on the card, I'll tell you that much, because the sewer one, not so great. But there's worse. I'll keep going. Next one is Incensed Rat. So this is as Raphael is coming home for the night from the movie, and he's talking to Master Splinter. This is a taste of Japan, sandalwood and cedar. It says vegan friendly. It's probably my favorite on here. Nice sandalwood and all that. The number 4 is the absolute worst in my opinion. Although number 9 did make my daughter gag. This is Radioactive Ooze. So this pops up when they're telling April the story, and there's like the little turtle scuttling by. This is mega loaded with retro mutagen drizzled with toxic green slime. Let me try to describe it. Oh, oof. Man, it's rough. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a hint of urine. I don't know. Gross.
Sweet.
Next one's pretty interesting. Some of you might get into this. It's called Hippie Delight. Greenwich Village in the 80s, pungent, herbaceous, with earthy Mary Jane notes. I don't know if you can see what's on the little thing there. It's a 5-sided leaf. And as Bart Simpson would say, it smells like Otto's jacket. Now the next one was most of our favorites. It was Foot Clan Dojo. So this one pops up. So number 5 comes up as they're getting up from the sewer to go into the second time around for April's. That's what her neighborhood smells like. Next is Foot Clan Dojo, which is cherry bubblegum pop with a base of adolescent angst, and it's delightful. It's like cherry bubblegum and all that. And that's when this is what we do. It pops up like when that comes in the Foot Clan there. Number 7, Love Salve, saucy special, cool menthol served with camphor heat. You could imagine this is when Casey is starting to rub on April. It pops up just as Mikey comes in, right? And he goes, turtle wax. And that's when it pops up. And you're like, oh, okay, fun. So now this next one, Erica, like Splinter's Magic. Wood fired with an assortment of smoked treats and charred whiskers. So this one is the campfire when Splinter pops up. So and that is probably the second best one on here, is that Splinter's Magic. The last one is Death by Trash, which pops up right after Casey hits the oops, and then the trash compactor comes down. Death by Trash, ultimate pizza rehash, nose-watering, lethal leftovers. That is the one that made my daughter gag. To me, it smells like rubber. So, Stinkovision is available. Band, dude.
Death by
Trash. Death by Trash sounds great. They play fast and loud, and their songs are 30 seconds each. So. But I thought this was interesting. You can find it on Amazon. It goes for, I want to say, like $29.99, something like that. You can check it out. But it was an interesting way to watch the movie, and it was really interactive. And I think for kids that would be fantastic. You would just have to get like a whole bunch of these cards made up or something, or just kind of pass it around. But it was fun. Like, we all watched it together and we were sniffing. Oh, what's that? Oh, no, give me. I need to get number 6 because number 9's in my nose. So, but it was interesting. Eric, we were just talking about like the thing that you missed is we were postulating if Tatsu was sent to get Splinter. When they sent the foot, and that's how he got captured. And like we'll never know, right? We'd have to ask Bobby Herbeck, right?
Oh yeah.
Exciting stuff to talk about this movie and all that. Does anybody have any thoughts on the 35th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? We talked for a full hour on this. It's amazing.
We could probably go another 5 hours easy with all of us being super.
We probably could,
without it feeling like it's been 5 hours. I just want to say I thought it was great seeing all those trailers. As kids, we never got to see that cool little comic preview. The video game Tactical Takedown, which is a really fun game to play. And it was, for those, us super fans have seen the deleted scene on YouTube before. I thought that was cool for casuals who may have never seen the far-fetched spot where they're talking about making the Turtles a comic book.
On the big screen, too.
Yeah, exactly. And it was in English, too, instead of the German, which is usually what we have to listen to for that extra. And the thing I thought was great was getting a little bonus with the dailies and seeing Casey Jones in his apartment watching, bad TV, because if anybody bought the 25th special on Blu-ray, that was a phenomenal collection. You got a comic, you got cards, you got a really cool beanie, and you get Eastman and Laird's adaptation of the movie in comic form. And I always read that, and I was like, this isn't the movie. What is this Casey Jones spot? So to actually see it on the big screen and know that it was supposed to be a part of the movie, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a good point about the Casey Jones and all that, because it gives us a little bit more of who he is. Like, we know who he is as a character just because he's one of the ones that's going to say things, but knowing who he was before and like where he came from, the whole idea Kevin said is that he just watched a lot of bad TV, and you get that in the comics. You don't get that so much in the movie. So that's a good deleted scene. Yeah. Anybody have a favorite track from the soundtrack besides TURTLE Power?
Well, that one I have a quick eye and a bump on is did anybody else have any arguments with that? Because my cousin kept trying to mic drop me that Raphael is the leader of the group. There's always that one kid who just because of that song they thought that was gospel pretty much. So that's the one thing.
If I had a nickel, I'd be a rich man. Yeah, I fought that good fight. So that's crazy. That's nuts. But yeah, I mean, this is a lot of fun getting to talk about this. Obviously, we're all big fans, so we'll have to come back and do it next year after we see The Secret of the Ooze when that comes out. I do want to just shout out to Isaac Elliott Fisher, who was present on the screen talking about the definitive Ninja Turtles documentary, the sequel, Turtle Power 2, that'll be coming out later. I know I supported that Kickstarter as soon as I saw it. It's crazy. He's been on the show, huge Dark Crystal fan. That's why we hit it off. But it's pretty cool to see him up there talking about this and just getting the word out about that documentary. It's going to be amazing. So yeah. Otherwise, folks, where can everybody follow you? Why don't we start with you, Mike?
Yeah, sure. If you guys want, we have our own podcast too, where we deep dive into a whole bunch of Ninja Turtle goodness. As Justin knows, we're a big gamer too on Twitch. We actually speedran the Nintendo original one in less than 30 minutes. We've upped up our game a lot.
I need to watch that, dude. That's awesome.
That took me, thank you very much. That took me years to finally do, and just to beat that game without the Game Genie was like one of the greatest achievements of my life. But yeah, if you guys ever want to hang out on Instagram or Twitch, we have a Discord as well, Shellonomics. We'd love to have you guys.
Excellent. How about you, Liddy?
I can be found at the Channel 6 Chick on Instagram as well as TikTok. And that's pretty much it. That's where my nerdy stuff is contained.
And also when you host the Epic Ladies from the Sewers.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get some more of those this year. So, yeah. And Joey, where can we find you?
Yeah, so definitely the number one spot would be Instagram. It's at Ninja Toitles, TOITLES. TikTok, YouTube, but definitely Instagram. And then my online store is ninjatoitles.com. I share this all the time. I have had the honor for about 5 or 6 years now, partnering with amazing turtle fan artists from literally all over the world. And we have collaborated on some pretty dope enamel pins and soft enamel pins. So definitely check out the site. If you guys are looking for anything, just hit me up for sure.
Yeah, I have one pretty close. I can't get to it right now, but the Intergalactic Wrestling Turtles is like my number one favorite. And Joey got me the pin, and I cherish this friggin' thing.
I appreciate that, dude.
So it's so great. Eric, I know we could find you as what, TMNT Dad on Instagram?
Yep, that's it. That and Facebook. That's about all you can get. Contact me where at.
And I want to thank everybody for being on the show. The pizza recipe that we'll do is some penicillin on your pizza. And we'll be back for all the listeners, all the YouTube watchers. You can check us out next time. Thanks for watching Epic Tales from the Sewers. Have a good night.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time. And now, for your pizza recipe of the day, I give you New York-style pizza. Active about 1 hour and 20 minutes, total 1.5 hours, plus 1.5 hours for rising. For the dough, 1 1/2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1 1/2 cups of warm water, 2 cups of bread flour, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, plus more for dusting, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil plus more for the bowl, cornmeal for dusting. For the pizza, 1/2 cup of pizza sauce, 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese, 2 ounces of torn fresh mozzarella cheese, 1 heaping cup of shredded low-moisture mozzarella cheese. Start by making the dough. Sprinkle the yeast over the warm water in a small bowl. Let it stand until dissolved and foamy, about 5 to 10 minutes. Meanwhile, whisk the bread flour, the all-purpose flour, sugar, and salt in a large bowl. Make a well in the center. Pour in the yeast mixture into the well and then the olive oil. Stir with a wooden spoon until shaggy dough forms. Turn out the dough onto a lightly floured surface. Dust the dough with flour and knead, dusting with more flour as needed, until the very smooth and elastic, but still slightly tacky, about 3 to 5 minutes. Transfer the dough to an oiled bowl, turning to coat.
Cover with plastic wrap and let rise in a warm place until doubled in size, about 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, preheat about 500 degrees to a convection oven setting if available with a pizza stone, baking steel, or inverted large baking sheet on the lower third of the oven. Step 3. Divide the dough into 2 balls. You'll only need 1 ball of dough for this pizza. Refrigerate or freeze the other ball of dough for another use. On a lightly floured surface or a cornmeal dusted piece of parchment paper, gently stretch and press the remaining dough ball into 12 or 13-inch round. Step 4. Make the pizza. Spread the pizza sauce on the dough, leaving the 3/4-inch border evenly topped with Parmesan and the 2 mozzarellas. Transfer the pizza on the parchment to the hot stone, then bake until the crust is set, about 5 minutes. Slide out the parchment from underneath the pizza. Continue to bake until the crust is golden brown and the cheese is melted, about 5 to 10 minutes. Pro tip, cut this pie into big slices and then fold them in half to eat them like a true New Yorker. Canned or jarred pizza sauce is fine for this pie, but you can also make your own. We use 2 types of mozzarella for this pizza, shredded low moisture to cover the pie and then slices of fresh mozzarella for richness. But you can make it any way you want. Check it out, the New York style pizza.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, or Nickelodeon Studios. This podcast is a member of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Check out thedorkening.com for other podcasts.
This podcast is also a member of the Collector's Maze Podcast Network. Check them out at collectorsmazenetwork.com.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper and Eric Will.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Seed's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over, and we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listeners. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is a new member of the Collector's Maze Network for all things geek. Check out other shows such as The Realmcast, The Creature Designer, The Evil Squid Comics, Eat, Drink, and Game, Road Tripvia, Collector's Maze Podcast, The Cosplay Club, Click On, Journey Through Lego Builds, House of Geekery, Floor Access, Cartridge in a Quest, Cost to Read, Avalon Universe, and Scooby Addicts.